to see how Musk and Trump feel about each other, just for shits and giggles. Anyway, you should read some of the really annoying messages. One day I'm going to conceal people's identities, but I will share kind of like mean tweets. I will share some of it just for laughs. The things people expect you to do. I don't know. People with way too much time on their hands. Okay. So we're going to take a look and see how Musk and Trump actually feel about each other. All right. First person I'm going to, from their perspective, looking at Trump is going to be Elon. Okay. So how does Elon Musk, how does he feel about Donald J? How does, hair is driving me mad. Whatever. Okay, that looks even worse. Okay, so how does Elon Musk really feel about Donald Trump? I'm asking my spiritual mentors to help me to read accurately and clearly always. So, how is it that these two really feel about each other? I'm looking at Elon and seeing how he feels about Trump. What is it that we may not be aware of that Elon really feels deeply about Trump? What is the strongest emotion that he feels about Trump? How does Elon Musk regard Trump? Well, not very good. He sees him as being beneath him. And even though he's supposed to have money, he sees him as somebody that is in financial decline because, he did basically inject his uh, campaign funds with this ridiculous amount of money. And he also sees him as perhaps competitive and combative, argumentative, and perhaps gets in the way of things unnecessarily, is the vibe here. I think he thinks he's also annoyed by his certain infirmities, shall we say. I think he thinks he's a drama queen and likes to stir up disruption. But the very first card is he has a sense of him as someone that is in decline and that is struggling, that is fighting for because of it. They are desperate. So he thinks of him as desperate. Well, he's just as desperate because he said that if Kamala got in, that he'd be effed. So whatever he meant by that, um, you know, he's kind of the similar situation. Both of them are, but he doesn't think very highly of him. Okay. Next two, he thinks that Trump needs to be tempered and have perhaps in his aggression um, for what he says he's going to go and like do, like these different nations, saying that he's going to purchase them or like hell, he's not going to buy anything or take them over. He's threatening to do that kind of thing. And let me just correct something on here. I just don't feel that he's going to do half of that. I think it gets on Elon's nerves. This high question of, with other nations. He doesn't, he thinks he's too aggressive, not, and too much on the offense as well, and putting people off. He needs more balance. Wouldn't disagree with him there. Too extreme with his hostility, with that, I'm going to take over your nation. It's just, he wants to be able to offer him um, something that he thinks is worthwhile and agreeable and has substance, has some form, and isn't just a partnership that is empty. He legitimately does emotionally have some investment in him. There's certain things I think that he actually finds likable, or I don't know, acceptable on some level. With the lover's card, I mean, he's willing to court him. I mean, that's really what it is. Courting Trump. Um, he's drawn in. It could also be that the behavior where women are concerned, the especially the accusations and the not just accusations but proven, uh, well, you know, guilty. He, E. Jean Carroll, and this kind of thing. This definitely, he looks at that. He's looking at that. There's a part of him that is looking at his relationships with women and how he regards them. Maybe doesn't regard them. I think Elon has trouble with women as well, so there may be some familiarity with the problem with the wives, that sort of thing. Um, we get the world, a completion, where, and it's an end as well, but something is completed with regard to, I believe, the nation or his home. Something he's looking at. I think he's also looking at him being stationed almost like out of his own house. Like he wouldn't use the White House primarily. Is that what this is about? Is that what they're talking about? I don't know why that came to me. That's just weird, but it wouldn't be entirely unheard of. But there is, maybe this is the White House of America, and he's thinking on him having completed that, and that his life is, in the last quarter. Um, is he looking at buying a house? I mean, I'm sure he's got a few houses here in America, the USA. Maybe he's gonna, maybe they'll buy a house together. There's the Knight of Pentacles. This is about work and money. And there's a boundary. He puts a boundary. He's very protective of when it comes to paying anything. There's real stubborn uh ideas. I think Elon is trying to get him to expand a bit with the Knight of Cups and with how he deals with other leaders in different parts of the world and then how he deals with things financially. I think Elon finds a bit old-fashioned and dusty, to be honest. I think he thinks he needs to be probably like more Bitcoin and this kind of stuff. And I don't know that Trump is understands any of it uh, enough to pay attention to anything to understand it. You know, I don't think he has the capacity. Um, looking at someone that cheated to win, that's definitely in his mind. Cheating to win, cheating so that you look like the winner, and that you are acknowledged to the public as a winner. That's in his mind as well. So he thinks of him as a cheat and a thief, someone that's willing to do that for his own glory. See the laurel, you know, on his crowned on his head. Someone that likes attention with the star. Ugh. And drama. That is a shit disturber. You know, they're someone that creates trouble, drama, and wants to be the center of attention. Also, the naked emperor, and in this case, he's out wandering in the dark. I have a feeling he's going to be one of those older folk that, as his mental decline goes, if he is physically capable of getting up and walking around and walking off, he might have a tendency to do that. I just had a picture of him in my mind's eye, like outside, like in his pajamas or whatever, you know, not really with it. Here's that confusion, that gaslighting energy, that fantasy, the lies, the I'm going to say this outrageous. He's a provocateur, and we have a great deal of money and support, and people like supporting in Elon's mind this provocateur. He's also thinking that there are, with Trump, various ways that he could benefit that he just needs to, you know, hasn't thought of financially. There's ways of uh, with the family brand he still thinks has potential, and that Trump just hasn't tried enough, I guess, Bibles and steaks and booze and other cheap watches. I don't know. Maybe Trump SpaceX or something. Winding you up. He also feels like he needs assistance to get through the difficult times. I think he's also thinking of travel here, and there's the Queen of Swords, maybe guidance even to deal with legal, how he deals with legal. Yeah, I think he thinks he could do with different representation legally. This may also be the issue of Fannie, whatever her last name is, uh, blanking on it now. I just about said it and I don't think it was right. But anyway, this could be something about Fawny and legal matters and having different representation to deal with um, being under the microscope, being investigated or looked at. He's thinking he needs help to get through that process. I think he sees the ways that Trump makes things worse for himself because he doubles down. And um, I think Elon thinks that he can kind of guide Trump uh, potentially. But let's just see. I think I think he's probably met uh, Ivana. This would be Ivana for me. But I need to look and see when his wife's birthday is. I think he's still married right now, right? Um, anyway, we're looking at relationships, meeting, I don't know, maybe talking to her about Trump's health, or he's thinking about her awareness, or like she should be maybe informed of her dad's health, something concerned to it. That comes up. I think he's debating on whether or not to say something and confide in her. There's clarity, or there will be clarity around the Queen of Pentacles. I wonder if this is Avril Haines and that report or information, regardless, that will come um, to do with the nation. Also, possibly to do with legal matters that are legal for Trump. I feel like this is something that could yet be information that Trump will deal with. There's some kind of clarity, maybe on the fact that somebody other than her right now, as this time, I think can take the case. But I think that in his mind was a benefit, clearly. Yeah, so there's a sense that they've bought time and a bit of opportunity to continue to double down and make things difficult. And he's looking toward the future. And it's throwing their weight around, it's bullying. He's aware of the fact that Trump bullies and is hostile, and he thinks that sometimes he needs to reel it back, but Elon's just is one as well. Um, I do get he's not sure at times, I think, about his ability health wise for very long. I think there's some decisions where recuperation, rest, pulling back. Maybe it's that Elon hasn't decided when he's going to pull back and just be a more passive uh, person around him. But it could be something that he could come to a crossroads where he decides to pull back, or where he's thinking about Trump needs to have some kind of recuperation, or he's seeing that choices are not being made where rest should be chosen. Maybe just, on and on and on, having him go to things. Um, also sees him as being very smug. I think he admires this when it comes to the law, like he's foolish in regard to his smug attitude of, well, you know, I'm a businessman and I deal with powerful people, so screw the law. I am the law. That's it as well. I see that he also watches Trump very closely with the Page of Swords, and he thinks that he really could use some self-moderation, some awareness, some more self-awareness about being just, I get more couth. I think again, Elon kind of sees him as being uncouth in some, and like losing, doesn't have good manners. Uh, Kind of an assessment where social connections are as well, that he's just kind of like a bull in a china shop. There's no manners. Um, yes. And some of these off on a whim things that Trump gets wound up on, I think like the tariffs and I don't know, things like that. Because I know that Elon's causing a kerfluffle with MAGA now because they're talking about the visa getting foreign people to work those tech jobs rather than Americans, because Elon's been saying Americans aren't smart enough and don't, aren't capable of doing it. That tells you right there he's a snob. Maybe Trump's, you know, team might be like that, but that's not the rest. But I think in general he looks down his nose at him. And I think he thinks that he's wastes a lot of time and energy going off on strange tangents, the tweeting and things like that, and just the thinking in general is off. Is recognizing that with the moon is strange. But what we do have here is also maybe realizing that they may have to part ways. I also got this before when I threw cards really quickly, where Elon's concerning feelings are concerning Trump. He feels like there's so much criminality in Trump's doings that I think he has concern that it's over the top, that it's not quite thoughtful enough in how it's done, or he thinks it could be done better, I think, in some way. Um, I also think that he could find Trump to be oppressive, and that could create an ending where he loses interest in this whole exercise with Trump and moves on. I believe he also is aware that his bad habits are likely uh, the lack of sleep and how he lives. I think he's observing that it's going to end him sooner rather than later. And the stress that goes with having all of this chaos around all the time. Stress will kill you. He sees Trump as also not being very happy. It doesn't matter if what he has, he's never content, and that he's indifferent. He really doesn't feel. He's disconnected. What he wants. He's very self-aware, self-centered, and gets bored quickly. He also sees that there's going to be changes, um, things where that are revealed. So I don't think Elon's going to be expecting that. It could also be that this is Elon detecting, becoming more clear on, I think, consequences that Trump is taking, the risks that he's taking. That might become more clear. He also may feel that it's his calling to work with Trump to try and to be in that spotlight. And that light, that sunlight, that spotlight, I think is what has drawn him in initially. But the consequences of being a friend of Trump or associated with Trump are going to affect Elon. The Trump's association is the kiss of death. So he would be the first one to escape without any kind of ruining of his business or whatever. He does see him as somebody that would stab him in the back as well, and especially when it comes to overseas matters. Uh, he might feel that there's, he might know that that's traitordom, what he's doing or what he's done, that it's a betrayal, and where overseas connections are concerned. I think he's aware of a lot more, and he chooses to ignore these things because of what he wants from Trump. And here we have the tower and being stuck and caught up. So I think he's going to eventually be feeling that connection will bring him trouble and will affect him, and he won't be able to shake it entirely. He will not escape that. Elon will not. And where the money and there's evidence of foolishness and risk taking. So, where that new start for the giving him money, I think that's all looked at. All of that behavior, very high risk, and the 10 of Wands. So, this is going to be very stressful. Um, and I think that he's going to see that he's under too much stress and travel. And there's some obliviousness with things that he does that I think that it gets on Elon's nerves. He'll be looking at options to walk away at that point, but I think it's going to be too late. The ball will have already gotten rolling, and the weight of, I think, Elon's attachment and connection will be strong enough that it'll draw him down too. All right, let's take a look and see now, what does Trump think of Elon Musk? What does Donald Trump think of Elon Musk? What does Donald Trump think of Elon Musk? Okay. We have the King of Cups, and we have the support card. Well, that's usually my Joe Biden card. Does he think? I think he's jealous of the support that Joe has, to be honest, and his family. His family want to be around him. Trump's don't. I think there's, in many ways, a great deal of jealousy. And I don't know why. Maybe he knows that Elon knows that he wants to be um, seen just as credible as Joe Biden. And so that money supporting him from Elon, that's one of the first things that he's thinking of. Okay. I think he thinks that's the way I'm going to beat him, was with Elon's support, that I have to match that. Yeah. That's so interesting. So we had the King of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. Now we have the Ten of Swords and the Nine of Wands. I think Donald finds Elon draining, that he has to protect his little corner of boundaries with Elon, that he can drain him with all his ideas, and it takes Trump a lot to try and listen to it. And I think about it and make sense of it. I think Trump has got some cognitive learning disability. Um, that's part of the issue with his comprehension and inability to seemingly read. There could be other issues going on there, but I just think he finds Elon to be exhausting, and one idea after the next, and he doesn't feel like he gets a moment to free. That it's draining to him. He's drained, and that he's got to keep him from taking over because he's going to drain him and still be looking to take control. Yeah, I think he would like him to leave at some point because he's going to, well, I think he's going to try and be oppressive to him with the devil. I think by creating chaos or people not getting along, I think he's going to try and get him to go away and to go other places, or, just leave the money and go, basically. He just does not seem to want him around. I think also this is the criminality that they've been engaged with, I think, overseas with Putin, because they've been talking to him, both of them. And there they are with Pootie. Family picture. So there's a feeling of wanting, I think, too, wanting to control. There's a lot of the ego of these two men at hand here. He wants him to leave. His ego wants to be in charge. He doesn't want him sucking up all the oxygen. That's his job. Um, okay, we have the Queen of Cups, and I don't know if he's going to say something to his daughter, Ivana, or something about it, but how he's just not really all that excited with what people are coming to him with option wise, what they're offering him, what Elon offers. Maybe he thinks that Elon finds him boring. I think that's probably true. But I think Elon's interest is in hearing himself talk. And when he's trying to get through to Trump, I think he's getting to hear himself do that and feel like he's playing with one of the big boys or something. Um, the issue of family and partnerships come up, and being satisfied, also maybe giving a better impression than things how they really are, because there are choices with the lovers that have to be made. And that has been really highlighted this year, is choices. Choices that Biden will make, choices that Trump and Elon make in partnerships and extended partnerships. and staying as one big happy family, like staying in Trump's orbit and giving him the support, the money. He wants to keep that, but he wants him to go away. Hmm. Yes. He very much would like to have his own counsel. He would like to have a break from his constant company. Um, and he would like to kind of hide, get away and just hide away from being sought out to have to hear ideas and what rules are. And I think Trump just gets really impatient with all of that. And I think that kind of detail is something that Elon looks a little bit more at. The Page of Wands, and I think it makes him anxious and nervous, and uh, he feels kind of like trapped, stuck. It really winds him up. You know, he would much rather go and I think play golf or do something like that. But I think Elon is pulling him aside and trying to discuss things with him business wise. And Trump's just like, can't we just go play golf? You know, I just let me talk to you after a round of golf or something. And I don't think, or whatever. And I don't think that Elon is giving him those opportunities to kind of, shoo him away. Yeah. I think Trump feels that Elon thinks he's a big deal because of the rocket, SpaceX, and all of this, and Tesla. And he looks at him as being smug and extremely wealthy. Um, and he's, this what's coming in mind is the vehicles, the cars, and his progress and his single-mindedness. But this money, to get the money out of him to be independent, so he can become more independent, is like pulling teeth where Trump's concerned. He feels like I pay a high price for this, for all, his independent wealth. I'm paying a high price for that. It stresses him out. And he knows, and he's made to know, hey, you owe me. It's constantly in his face. You're going to have to deal with him and to let him talk and listen to him. He wants him to go away. He wants him to walk away. And there could be a legal matter. Um, and I saw this when I was reading on Elon that could come up with regard to a woman, maybe even if it's not Fani or that prosecution, um, it could be another judge or something like that. And I think when legal issues start coming and being looked at, there's a part of he where he just wants Elon to really leave, to go, and to move on, or to help him so that he can do so. But I don't know what, maybe the legal, paying for the lawyers on some level in the future, coming for advice if there is legal stuff that's brought up that could hinge or make Trump have to step away as well. I think Trump knows he's really dependent on him and he doesn't like it. And I think he knows that he's in decline. That Trump knows that he himself is in decline financially and he's not certain about how things will go, because I think he really does want him to get out of his air. I think he's crawling up his behind, so to speak, and he just doesn't feel like he can do what he wants to do. So they tolerate each other. But let me just see, is their relationship Let me just try a different deck here. I'm going to try this Trish James Oracle deck. So, let's see. Will Trump and Elon's relationship, business partnership here, will that fail? Will it end up coming apart? Because usually anybody Trump supports or wants to have running something or is nominated by him or you know they get that touch of death to their career. So will Elon and Trump's relationship falter? Will it break apart? I'm getting strategy plan. So right now, while there's still part of their plans are being enacted, they're, in each other's company. But I think outside of this strategy or plan, it could be all bets are off. They could be tired of each other. So there's some kind of plan for the two of them to benefit from this. And look at this. It says flow, just go with it. So I think, again, it reinforces the message of this is not necessarily part of, I really enjoy this person and I want to be around them, but more of this is a strategy. This is something we have to do for our own benefits, and we'll just have to tolerate each other um, until this is accomplished, their plan. So, options, many possibilities, paired with roll the dice and take a chance. So, there's still some things that are fluid, but I feel like they're going to be taking, and I was been shown that big chances, big risks with the Fool card, with that other deck. And here it's repeating that theme and kind of being like a child about it, kind of oblivious. Like, why would you? You should know better. You're old enough to know better. But you're thinking like a child. You're taking really big risks. So the pair of them have taken some big risks and they have a plan. They're just going along with it. There's options of how it could play out, and they're willing to take that risk of the roll of the dice with along with each other. But look at this. Warning, deception. And then we have abundance and multiplying. So this makes me feel like, is this multiplying votes the part and of the strategy or plan to benefit Trump? And that because it's right on the heels of taking, a strategy or plan that had options, more than one option, and they took the chance, I think, to cheat and steal that for him. They're just seeing him into office now. But there is deception around them and maybe around some sort of abundance that they're getting as much as they claim. I don't know. I think they're getting enough just fine, but I think that they're definitely not telling the truth about everything. Here we go. There's going to be some cutting cords here with new ideas and mood swing, extreme emotion. Yeah, you can forget it. I think they're going to stab each other in the back. Both of them could get in a mood, and all it takes is to have two people that have that kind of ego to lose it on each other, and ugh, I think they will realize that they haven't, the other is going to realize that they have not been um, transparent, that they've lied to each other. And this might cause this mood swing, extreme mood swing, and the cutting of a cord. So yes, that looks like it will. And there's regret, path not taken, and it's paired with battles, disagreement. So there'll be arguing and regret that I think both of them will end up having, that they got mixed up with in the other, and that they got involved in planning this and following what they did of this strategy or plan that, be really easy for Trump to say, well, he came up with the idea. I can just hear this blame. They'll want to break free, feeling trapped, to take control, get power back. So definitely not wanting the other one to get too much attention or have too much say in what is going on, get too much airtime, makes the other person feel stuck and they feel like they're not calling the show. They want to, it's a jostle for control between the two of them. Ups and downs, wisdom, think about it. Balance. Eventually, I think once they feel like they have fulfilled whatever that plan was, I think there is going to be pulling back. But there's just going to continue to be problems with and it might be that with wisdom we'll look back at it and see how this inability to move forward, um, because there's too many monkey wrenches being thrown in from whims, you know, is going to be what does not help to things work out. There's a lack of balance. And we'll find out more about it. Okay, we get improvement. Yeah, once they're gone, life, home, body. And other side, signs from heaven. Hmm, wow. Well, improvement. Well, maybe it means once someone's no longer in a body, life, home, body, seriously. And the other side, and someone changing form, um, what the hell is this? Hmm, just almost feels like there's going to be signs from the other side once these two are not friends anymore, that things will get better. That's weird. Boundaries, where are yours? Enjoy, have more fun. And then I think America will finally breathe. The USA. There's just a feeling like, we got to watch people like this. These two are trouble. And I think they will go down in history for that as being nothing but trouble. So let me just see again, real quick, since I'm doing all these readings tonight for you guys. Uh, and Sunday is the live. Um, Let's take a look at let's see what these cards will say. Will Trump have a health issue coming up? Because I've gotten cards, and one of them that I did flashed on surgery. And I felt like with the Three of Swords and the Ace of Swords, it just gave me that hit of surgery. It might be needed. So let's just see. Is Trump needing? I'm just wanting to see if I can confirm that now that I've got the camera and I've got the cards to read on that. Is Trump going to need some kind of surgery? Let's see what we get. Is Trump going to need some sort of surgery coming up in the next, let's say, 3 months? Communicate, talk it out. To me, there's going to be talk. There will be news. People will be talking about it. So this is, I think, a positive for that. And the horns, to me, this angel like being, it's like there's a sign. Inactivity, hibernate, quiet time. Yeah, I think so. He might have to delay. He might be convalescing. Searching, find yourself. Paired with delays, hang in there. Oh my gosh, you guys. I always want to do and will do checks from now on, because I learned that things can change. And maybe I could have caught something if I would have been looking, but I don't know. Illusion, not as it seems, perspective, shift focus. I think that people will start to see through the illusion that he's offered. This could be MAGA. Let's also look at that. Socialize or social media. Abundance multiplying. But he'll be tweeting on his social media. Probably was it Truth Social and whatever Musk's maybe while they're still friends. You get that multiple abundance of social media posting. I think they're going to be kind of goofy though, especially with this illusion. Things aren't as they seem. Um, he may not, just not connected to reality. Okay. Patience, it will take time. He's going to need that. New ideas or cutting cords. Yes, to me, again, this is a nod towards surgery. And it could be a lengthy surgery or a lengthy recuperation. Review the past. And he's going to be, I think, stuck where he's thinking of the past. Maybe he won't, maybe he'll be bed rest. And he's been be reviewing the past where he had good luck and prosperity. And I think this will put a change in that. It's going to be like the good luck and his ability to get away with stuff, it will be in the past. Mood swings, extreme emotion, and again, improvement, home, life, body. Again, I think his body is going to be trying to heal up from something. Connect, ground yourself. Right. Intuition, trust yourself. I think that's also a message to us to trust our intuition. Um, during that time, once it comes up, movement, wheels in motion, cleanse, body, mind, and home. That's something is going to change where his body is concerned. And it's kind of a cleansing effect, like a purge, I guess. Scattered, unorganized. That makes me think of the mind. And lethargic, running on empty. It just does not look good for his health. Um, and like there is some kind of medical treatment. Walk away, not for you. He's not going to be up to the task. Strategy plan. Walk away, not for you. I don't think he's going to want to do that. Relinquish power, given away, high energy boost. I think once he gives up power, that's when he's going to get an energy boost, or energy is going to shift. He's going to have to relinquish and say he's not up to it. And he's not going to be up to it. And it causes chaos, drama, and turmoil. Teamwork support needed. So it's going to cause the GOP to have to like what? You know? He's going to be working on him taking care of himself, self love, value, and worth, and to leap. Don't hold back. So I think he'll blast them. When he's needing something, it'll be, why aren't you doing this, that, and the other? And whatever they're doing, it won't be good enough. Nest change, home or family. He could have to move or be moved. Sleeplessness, lack of sleep. Maybe he'll ask if he's in hospital convalescing, he might move back home for convalescence. Take the chance. They could say, no, we don't advise that. And he could say, I'll take the chance and think that they don't know. Kind of a naivete there. He's willing to take the risk. He wants to try to get his mental focus back. And I think he thinks that if he can just get back home and get back to this environment, he will have that. However, manipulated behind your back. Meanwhile, while he's been sick, people have been doing things. Um, Using you as a stepping stone, goals, stepping stones. He's just being used. Pick me up, feel better. He's going to be wanting to try to feel better, try to make himself feel better, and uh, try to be more resilient because this could take some time. I think also his periods of feeling better may not last as long. And he's trying to build resilience, stamina. Again, it's about healing, time to heal, it says. And soulmate, special to you. Well, gosh, I don't know who that could be. Maybe Elon. I don't know. Uh, do it now, don't wait. Weakened immune system. So that happens when older people go in and get surgery too. They can get a weakened immune system. You can develop uh, bronchitis and pneumonia, all kinds of stuff, and that can be what ends up taking older people out. Change, transformation. That's got the butterfly there. You create your destiny. This could be like, well, this is what you wrote, your exit. Collaborative work together paired with strength, fierce attitude. So he'll have some people by his side. We get travel time to get away, spirit guide, ask for help. I think that could be him being visited to leave and go to the other side. I do. They're trying to get him organized. It will work out, and he has to let go. Challenge, difficult situation. He could be holding on. I think he'll be hold on for a while. Celebrate accomplishments and relax, do not stress. Fertility, bountiful, do the work. Flow, just go with it, over it, had enough. I think that there's going to be issues with him healing, and I think he could kind of linger and eventually get tired of the situation and let go. But I think he'll resist passing sooner because he thinks that he could, overcome it. And I just don't think it's going to, but he's going to have to surrender. So that'll be fun. Yeah. Anyway, how strange. All right. This was a really long deep dive. This should keep y'all focused for a while and come up with some other questions and things. Wow. It's still showing that health issues of some kind. And I guess we'll just have to see how this plays out. All right. If you appreciate readings like this, please do give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. If you managed to make this all the way to the end, ugh, I'm tired. I'm going to rest now. All right. I'll see you. Bye.